Hey everyone, we are back. We're live. Thanks so much for your support through the years. We're back. I'm feeling much better. Thanks for all the well wishes out there. For those of you who left comments or sent emails, I do appreciate it. And but we're back tonight. We're going to destroy the open floating shelf once and for all in this live stream. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. And so if you're watching, of course, live, make sure you say hi in the chat. And there's a little poll there as well. If you're on YouTube, you can participate in that. And that is in your kitchen, do you have a floating shelf or do you want one? There's two answers, yes and no. And that's it. We'll just leave it at that. No other answers. We won't complicate things. So if an open shelf is something you would like, put it in there, a floating shelf, put it in the chat or put it in the poll, make a vote on it, and make sure you thumbs up this on your way in the door. We're going to jump into the chat in a few minutes and say hi to everyone, and then we'll get going. What's going on in Mark Tobin's world? Everything is good. Channel is doing good. I hope you're doing great. I do appreciate everyone who comments on videos, good, bad, or otherwise. I do get a lot of great comments from everyone, so I do appreciate that. And you get a few trolls along the way, and that's just life. And you do get a lot of good constructive criticism as well, which I do appreciate. I try to respond to as many comments as possible, and or at least I read all of them. I try to heart them or reply to them as much as I can. So I do appreciate that, and it doesn't go unnoticed. When you get into YouTube, at least I think for most people, I know for myself anyway, when you get into doing this, you kind of doing it for yourself. You like the idea of being on YouTube. It's all good. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with that. But as you get into doing this for a little while and you start seeing that the content that you create actually helps people, it's really changes the focus of why you do YouTube in the first place. And so in the beginning, it's like, well, I kind of want to be on YouTube because I think it's cool or whatever. But now it's like, wow, the things that you can share on YouTube can actually help people do something. And when they comment and say, this thing in a video or that thing, or just your channels really helped me, or the way you approach this really helped me. It's like, oh, cool. This is not all about me. I really, you really start to appreciate the, ability to give something to someone and help somebody. So sorry to get all mushy, but and I still like me. I still like being on camera, and I'm still very much, I always like being in front of the crowd. Oh, there's a issue on Facebook. Sorry, Facebook, you're not getting this. I'm not sure why. But yeah, anyway, but that's just the way it goes. That's my personality. Anyone can tell you that who knows me personally. I just like being in front of the crowd. But I really do appreciate the opportunity to help people and, of course, design better kitchens, functional kitchens, and it's all good. So, all right, let's talk about the floating shelf. And I did say that in this video that we are going to destroy the open shelf, but it might not be in the way that you might anticipate or think. And we'll get into that in a minute, because I think, and in my opinion, I don't think that the open shelf, the floating shelf concept or trend is going to go anywhere anytime soon. I just don't think it's ever going to go away, actually. I think it's going to be something that we see in kitchens for a long, long time. I could be wrong, but I just have my suspicions. It's like one of those things that are timeless. For some reason, floating shelves seems to be in that category. Now, I get a lot of comments on videos where I do content about open shelves that it's like people either like them or love them, or they just absolutely hate them. The grease and the bugs and the dust and all that stuff. So we know all about all that. We know all the issues. I think all of us, especially all the live streamers, like who follow me or heard at least something I said about open shelves or floating shelves, that we get it, right? We know that there's some inherent issues with the floating shelf, but there's a good group of people who absolutely love them and have them and want them in their kitchens. It's kind of like the OTR thing. I had a buddy today, we're sitting down having a coffee, and he said, Mark, I gotta replace my OTR. And he kind of looks at me like with this shameful look on his face. I'm like, man, you can't be talking to me about that. We're out in public right now. You can't be talking like this. He's like, "What do I do?" I'm like, "Listen, if you need to replace it, like, you go replace it. Like, it's all good. Don't worry about it." You either love them or you hate them. And it's all awesome. So let's look at this today. What in the world? The floating shelf. I scratched out floating because here's the issue that I've been thinking about. Of course, I'm just trying to be funny in a lot of this stuff, by the way. It's not really floating. Have you ever noticed? It's like the skyhook on the construction site or the striped paint. It's the same category. It's not really floating anywhere. It's firmly attached to the wall. And so, of course, I'm being facetious. I just think it's funny that we call it a floating shelf and it's not really floating. So, first off, we got to destroy that. I think we should just call it shelf. Period. Just shelf. Not even open shelf because of course, like it goes without saying that it's open. You don't call your wall cabinet a closed shelf. You don't use that terminology. So why not just say, hey, it's just a shelf? And forget these fancy terminology words. Forget trying to make it sound something else like it's floating. It's not floating. It's just a shelf. It's cool. Let's be cool with that. Let's just say it's a shelf, and I either want a shelf in my kitchen or I don't want a shelf. That's really the issue here. So I won't harp on the issue, but I just thought it was funny. And so, yeah, we're going to remove the floating. We're just going to call it shelf from now on. Now, I got a bunch of pictures online, and we're going to look at them and go through some variations of what the floating shelf, oh, my bad, what shelf can can look like. I'm going to keep tripping up on that. And to see if there's some other ways of doing it. Of course, we know kind of the traditional way that we'd all be used to when we think of the floating shelf in a kitchen. We and I have some pictures of those as well. But there's other ways of doing it, and there's maybe some more stylish ways or trendy ways. I'm not sure. But there's just other ways of doing it that I think that are worth looking at. And that's what I want to do tonight is look at some of these variations of shelf that we can incorporate into our kitchen if we so desire to do so. All right. And then after a bit, then I'll just jump into the chat and we'll say hi. So if you have a really important question that you want to get some clarity on or an answer on, you can certainly ask it at any time. I just might not see it because I'm going to be concentrating on what I'm doing. So after a while, when I say I'm jumping into the chat for questions, please put it in there then for sure. And of course, chat with each other if you have a question. There's everyone else here can answer. So, okay, very cool. And if it's your first time on a live stream, make sure you say hi and let me know that you're doing that. And if you're on a device that you can't do that on, just scream at the screen or send me an email. Anything will do. All right. Let's look at these now. The floating shelf or shelf. This is fun. All right. Here we go. Here's the first one. So this hopefully these won't be too hard to see, too pixelated, but we'll have a look at this. I have a shot like this, and I'll zoom in on the part that we're looking at. Of course, beautiful kitchen, really nice kitchen. Love it. Love the greens in there with the plantage and the herbage, and really nice white kitchen. So that's all nice. So here we go. Here's our open shelf. So this will kind of be the classic, what you'd expect to see maybe in an open shelf. It's not overdone. If you look here, it's just, that's the only one in the kitchen. You got these beautiful pantries. They didn't carry it on the other side of the window. So, it's just interesting. You got the beautiful backsplash that goes up behind it. And so there you have it. That light though, hanging over the island is odd to me. It looks like it should have a third bulb, but it doesn't. It only has two. Interesting. But there you go. So that's kind of the classic idea of an open shelf. Beautiful kitchen. It's not too white at all. Actually, it's just white enough with a little bit of green and the backsplash in there. Hey, Jane. Jane says it's her first time in the live. So thank you so much, Jane, for being here. Awesome. I appreciate it. So this is kind of the classic idea of what an open shelf, what we come to expect when we see an open shelf. All right. Beautiful windows. Love it. Okay. Let's go to this one. This is something we see quite a bit now more than ever. There are these kind of full-length wall shelves, not just little shelves, but just full-length, full-on wall shelves. And if we look here. Now, here's some of the issues I have with this. But again, this is just a way to, this is, thank you, Terry Joe. I appreciate that. Okay, I gotta stop looking at the comments. Okay, this video and what I'm showing you tonight, hopefully, if you're thinking about putting in an open shelf into your kitchen, that this will give you some ideas of different ways to do it. It's not whether or not you should or shouldn't. We'll save that. We'll leave that in your hands. You can be the one to judge if it's for you or not for you. But these are definitely some good ideas. Oh, cool, Rosie. Hey, thank you for being here. First time live. Love it. Awesome. And thanks for watching the videos. I really appreciate it. So this is cool. It got the full backsplash is beautiful. I want you to notice how high these are. So this is probably 30 inches off the countertop, that bottom shelf, which is about 74 inches from the floor. And if you know your metric system or imperial, I don't know, that's over 6 feet. So it's getting up there in terms of reachability, making that top shelf very difficult for anybody to access. A lot of times with open shelves, and honestly, with most wall cabinets, the tops of those things aren't usable anyway. I talk about that a lot and different ways to remedy that, but these top shelves definitely are not the most usable, and so they might be curated, or maybe there's a step stool somewhere we don't know about. But beautiful overall look to this kitchen, and just another interesting way that we can do these shelves, these floating shelves, so to say, and they're not for everyone, but this is another way to do it. Tied right into the range hood, custom range hood there. It's really beautiful architecture there that they've done. So really cool. Another way of doing it. So this is very popular. I just did a kitchen like this with a client where they did this. It's not, I mean, it's nearly identical, except it's laid off a little bit different. But yeah, they have this backsplash going on here, and then the shelf is made from the backsplash material. Do I zoom in on that one? Yeah. So the shelf is made from the marble or whatever that stone is, and it looks really, really beautiful. Now, of course, those of you who are wondering about the grease and the grime that's going to get on that in that location specifically, I agree with you. I think that's probably going to be a messy spot for a shelf. But who am I? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's amazing. It certainly looks nice when you're just looking at it. It's definitely a look. They've got the sconces there, the artwork, the inset cabinets. Like, it's definitely a trendy looking design, a trendy looking kitchen. But another way of doing the shelf that you can maybe incorporate into something that you're thinking about doing, if the shelf is for you. And if it's not, well, then don't do this. I would suggest, though, the backsplash idea like that, it's definitely something to consider. Really, really nice. So that's just another beautiful one, in my opinion. I'll set the record straight. Oh, there goes my camera. I'm not against the open shelf at all. Had them in the past, and, I just didn't want to have one this time. But when you look at pictures like this, they look beautiful. In real life, I don't know, maybe they don't work. But maybe they do. Maybe this is a real to life kitchen, and it's just beautiful like that all the time. And you don't mind dusting, and you don't mind dirt. And of course, I get comments where people say, well, you get dirt and bugs and all that stuff inside cabinets too. That's true, you do. So good point. Jackie is, why would this be considered floating? Isn't it simply open shelving? I really dislike the open shelving concept. Well, Jackie, yeah, that's what we're talking about. They're not floating, they're attached. And of course they're open because they're shelves. So that's why today we're just calling them shelves. And you like them or love them, love them or hate them, they're not going away. They are definitely here to stay. And so those of you who are on board with these open shelves or these shelves, hopefully you'll get some great ideas here. Whether or not you like them or not, I get that. So yeah, Sanjeev saying is in the blocking part of the range, right? Isn't it? I think so. Rosie's saying would never put it over the range. I mean, I think that would be kind of the most greasiest location for a shelf, but it is something that's trendy, and there you go. I mean, it looks nice. Okay, let's give it that. Let's go to the next one. Ooh, this is a pretty kitchen, really nice, really eclectic, really cluttered looking to me, and lots going on. All the different color cabinets, different color countertops. The sink is wild. That 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 light above the cutting boards is incredible. But then you have the open shelves again. Look how high they are. They're ridiculously high. Um, Look, what are you gonna get up there? What is that anyway? You're not reaching that. I know that's for sure. You're never gonna get at that. That's as high as like, it's almost as high. It's as high as those lamps almost. So again, these are more for show, in my opinion. I don't think these are used quite often. Maybe these bowls here on to the right of the exhaust and the bottom shelf, but again, super high. So the functionality aspect is not there, in my opinion. It's definitely this is probably more for looks and just the overall aesthetic of this kitchen. But I mean, what do you think? Maybe with the kitchen as it is, it's even got that hanging thing, which I love. I don't really, but you could take out those open shelves and it wouldn't change that kitchen at all, really, because those things you're storing there, either you don't use them or you could put them anywhere. So I don't think it would change the overall look of that kitchen in the least little bit. I think those are mostly decorative uh, by the looks of things. So there you go. But I mean, really cool. Another idea if you like these types of things. I'm trying to just I want to give something for everybody. So um, I love it. I love the grease and dust comments. They start coming out right away. Sanjeev, you're right, but it's just it's great. It's just despite the fact that this Sanjeev is correct here. These open shelves aren't going anywhere. They're just not. Um, Off topic, but how many cutting boards does one need in the kitchen? Well, you need one, two, three, four, five, seven, eight or nine, I guess, apparently. Uh, that's a lot. I mean, I think a lot of this kitchen is just, for this picture. I don't think there can't be that many cutting boards. I don't know though. Like Amy and I, we use three. We could use more. So by floating shelves, I just mean shelves, not floating. They're not open. They're obviously open. But the beginning of this live stream, I said they're just shelves. So open no longer. Let's go to the next one. It's a pretty little kitchen, I gotta admit. It looks like it's a kitchen that's built into like a den of some old home that was never intended to have a kitchen. Um, but it's a pretty little space. I think it looks really nice. Um, I like it. But if you notice there, look at the location of these shelves. That's what I wanted to see. I thought this was interesting. So I mean, they're there on this other wall, so they're away from the range. They're in a really awkward place, but there are no other real wall cabinets. I'm assuming that either that's the fridge that's paneled or there's a fridge maybe before that. I don't know if that's a paneled fridge or not. I'm not that smart. Um, but and but overall, beautiful looking little kitchen. I really like this one. But except for the placement of these uh, dish shelves, which to me look like very useful, not useful placement, but these are used a lot, is what I'm trying to say. That's probably the bowls and the glasses that you use. And so its location is a little bit odd to me, especially if there's a dishwasher there and you're trying to get it out. I guess maybe you have help, or you just set it on the side of your island and walk around your island and put them away. But just interesting. What else would you put there? I don't know. They're shallow, which I like that. So it's like shallow storage, and so that's all good. So I'm on the fence about it. Overall, I really like this kitchen. So, but I would think if you hook that walking in there, those dishes are gone. Like, just seems to be like a precarious situation to have your dishes stacked there. You got your cake thing there and your wine glasses. Just seems like a recipe for disaster in this kitchen. Hey, let's get rid of that and put this on for a bit. There we go. Yeah, so what do you think? I don't know. I like I said, I like it. Looks like I would like this kitchen. I don't know. I'm not sure about the shelving, but I would like that kitchen. That window though, so nice. Okay, let's go to the next one. So yeah. That's a big, big, beautiful space. There's a lot in this kitchen I really like. One is the view of that window in the back there. It looks like it's ocean or lake or something. I like the look of that. Um, Huge open concept, obviously. Got the waterfall going on. I think that looks beautiful. They got the table extended off the island, which is great. But again, you have these open shelves over the range hood. Again, probably like Sanjeev said, and others are saying, blocking off probably a lot of the draw from that exhaust. And so I don't know how useful it is, but it seems like this one. It seems like these ones are the ones that are used the most because they're a pretty good height to access. Got your salt and pepper shakers there. You got some dishes. Looks like there's some things that you'd use quite often, but again, the placement is a little bit odd. But you see this time and time again. This is one of the trends for shelving that's definitely on the rise. This whole idea of full shelf, going across underneath a range hood, which comes up time and time again. So I think it's how practical it is. Obviously, I don't think it's very practical, but I personally think it looks nice. You know, to me, I love the fluted or beaded, whatever they call that, beam tied into the post and the beam there. That looks really pretty. Looks like there's probably a wall there at one time, and they opened it right up. Very cool. But yeah, kind of interesting the way they do it. But let's keep going to this one. So this one I liked. I like this a lot. This is a very interesting space. Got the two islands, which whatever. If you got room for it, I guess you could put three in this kitchen. You got room for it. So I don't know why they stopped at two because there's another beam there that you could put more pendants on, and you could have three islands. Anyway, they missed the boat on that one. Big window. But look at these shelves. Aren't these interesting? So just a different take. Again, they're just open shelves, nothing serious, but they just have a different design to them. That with the framing on that. You see this stuff at IKEA sometimes. But they have like this new budget-friendly kitchen, the Enhet, I think it's called, and they have some of this type of thing in that line as well. But this is just interesting. It's just a different way of doing it. So if open shelves are something that you're interested in, which 65% of you, according to the poll, are not, but for the 35% of you who are, or maybe are thinking about wanting that in your kitchen, this is an option that's out there to make it maybe look a little different. I don't know if trendy is the right word or stylish. I don't really know. I don't know anything. But I do think this looks just different, and I think that's what I like about it. This kitchen's massive, by the way. Really, really big kitchen. So, there you go. Hey, Darlene, press the thumbs up on the way in. I appreciate that. Where are we at for thumbs up? 22. We can do better. Let's do it. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. I super do appreciate it. Um, all right, so there you go. Very cool. Yeah, so hopefully this gives you some ideas. I'll probably do an actual video on this kind of stuff in the future here. We got this kitchen's got it all. Got the sconces on there. Now again, like I said, the shelving, especially the top, not that accessible. So those things are going to have to be curated. But overall, very, very nice, very pretty, and just something that's a little different than your regular mundane open shelves. Here we go. Another nice looking kitchen, nice white kitchen. I like the way they have the roof, and then how the cabinets don't go to the ceiling, but it's like open right over that or through that. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, if we look here at this open shelf, that has the cabinet above it. So again, something a little different. Usually you'd see like two open shelves, but in this one you have this cabinet with the vertical lift above it, and then you have the shelf underneath it. And I think that's just something different. So that's something else you can incorporate if you want to put in a shelf in your kitchen to make it a little different than just the regular. There's another way of doing it. And there you have that. Beauty. I'm just looking at these tiles. See the way they have those tiles? I'm thinking of doing the same thing in my kitchen, just like that, not staggered. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. So yeah, another way of doing it looks pretty cool. All right, here is very nice looking kitchen, and way over in the corner, bammo, there they are, hidden away in the corner. So you know what? This is not overdone. It's this beautiful kitchen. You don't have them next to the range. They're obviously there just for putting on a bowl and something for decoration. So, for this particular type, I think, that's not too bad an idea. I love that backsplash, by the way. But this is it's not too much, I guess. So there's ways of incorporating it that it's not just overkill. It's not just, shelves wide open everywhere and, you're cleaning them, cleaning all the grease off them all the time. Tucked in the corner, not overdone. Got some stuff on there that pretties it up, gives it some stuff that you want to display, and bango. Sorry that it's kind of blurry, but that's just the picture that I had. Very cool. So your open shelf does not need to be, anything majorly. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of use. If you have extra space that you don't want to put a cabinet, they could have just put a cabinet and carried it to the wall. That would have looked just as nice, because the distance on the right of that window to the fridge would be very small. So maybe they did it. I don't know why they did that, but they did it, and it looks pretty nice, in my opinion. But they have the backsplash carried right up to the ceiling. So beautiful. So so there you go. I like looking at these things because it gives you ideas, and that's really what this is all about. Um, we want to see different ideas, especially me. I want to see different things because I design clients. Um, cool, you made it. Thanks so much. I design cabinets. Well, I mean, I guess you can say I do it for a living. I'm a YouTuber, but I do this also for a living, and you need fresh ideas all the time. And if you're designing a kitchen and you're going to do a kitchen renovation, it's good just to see a variety of ideas. And I mean, that's the benefit that we have in the day we live in with the internet, is that we can see all these ideas just, at the click of a button, and there's just, millions of them. Maybe it can be overwhelming, but seeing things like this, looking up certain ideas, can really spark something for maybe your kitchen, and that's really the point. So, oh, hey, went with navy cabinets on bottom, maple on top. Cool, I like it. I like lake. All right, let's go back. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, because this is something that people ask me, and I kind of made up an answer that I think is right, but maybe you can help me out and give me your opinion. So, especially if you have an interior design background, or you just know interior design. I don't claim to in any way, shape, or form, at all on my channel. And but I do get asked questions sometimes about certain things, and I have a particular opinion about two-toned cabinets, and that is that the darker color should go on the bottom, and because it's heavier. But I don't know if that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds interior designish to me, but I don't know if it is or not. I'm just I'm just talking. And and so I wanna make sure, like, does that make sense that I'm saying that? That the darker color would be on the bottom because it's heavier? I don't know what that means, that it's heavier, by the way. It seems to me that a darker color would be like an anchor color. Again, made up terms that I'm using, maybe out of place. And then a lighter color on top, because it's lighter, I guess. So I'm getting some good feels here. Natasha's agreeing. Yes, we got some agreeing. So, um, Okay. Light on top to create more, yeah, so, alright. I mean, because and listen, if I'm completely wrong on any of these things, I don't like, please tell me. I'm correct? Okay, Jennifer's saying, "Yeah, you're correct." The dark color. Yeah, make it feel close in. So, okay, I'm pretty pretty, uh, brings your eye down. Yeah, the weight, oops, sorry. I want oh, where'd it go? Oh, here it is here. Um, weight, darkness of color brings the eye down. Okay. Alright, so, like, I'm not a I'm not a complete, like, I'm not completely stunned. Um, I do so I'm kinda glad that I wasn't misappropriating the interior design world, um, because I do get asked a lot of interior design questions, and I don't try to, I don't try to pretend, but that one I kind of felt like I had a good handle on. I'm learning and stuff. I'm learning lots of things, of course, in the interior design world. But when you're giving answers to people, I was like, I think I'm right, but I don't really know. All right, let's keep going. Maybe I should look that up. Maybe I'll do a video on that and just show the difference. Show kitchens that have dark on top and light on top, dark on bottom. Is there a real difference? Or what we saying is what we're saying. Maybe the kind of the best way to do it. Hard to tell, hard to know. But because this is all blue everywhere, but then the island's different color. So this is different in my opinion because you have blue on top, blue on bottom, but then you have the light maple or whatever wood that is there. So I think, yeah, I no, I you know what I do. I have conversations with Chat GPT all the time actually. Not about this video though. Okay, Helen, I know this isn't a big deal, most of you here, but it just started snowing here in Northern California. Well, um, is that good or bad, Alan? Does it not normally snow in Northern California? I don't know. Um, we're in for a doozy of some snow later on the week. Like someone said 100 centimeters. It's like that would bury my house. Like, what in the world, 100 centimeters? I don't think we're actually getting that, but can you imagine? Crazy. Yeah, lots of snow here in Canada, eh? Hey, Mark. Hi. Thanks for being here. Awesome. Cool. Oh, I can't wait to hear how it goes. All right, Rosie, where you at in Nova Scotia? Let me know where you're at. I got a fellow Nova Scotian here. All right, let's keep going. All right, so this is the kitchen. Look at this. Wow, this is beauty. Beauty, beauty, beauty of a kitchen. I mean, lots to be said here. Lots to be said. Okay, so I mean, wow. This is very well thought of. All right. I just want to say that off the hop. But let's just focus on what we're focusing on and let's talk about these babies right here. I've seen this in more than one occasion. Again, you have these long shelves, but check it out over the window. And I've seen this quite a bit. Something that, like, these longer shelves are definitely more popular. This is, to me, this looks obviously like it's in a place that's going to be used. But what's your thought about this over the shelf like that? I mean, or I mean, across the window rather. I think that's, quite interesting. I don't hate it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't dislike it. When you look at this kitchen, you don't look at that, to me at least, and be like, "What in the world?" Like, it's going across the window. The window's still there. It still has the same, like, pull down, like, blinds, whatever those things are called. Blinds, I guess, yeah. But, yeah, just interesting. So this is something you could do, and it would obviously work. It's not in a place where it's super greasy. It's away from the range. It's above the sink. So, I don't know, interesting. That would be one of those like, this is one of those kitchen designs and one of these options that you have to, like, ask Nick Lewis. I well, I maybe I will. Maybe I will ask him. I'd like to hear his opinion on that. I'll reach out to him. We, well, I haven't in a while, but we reach out on Instagram every now and then. I mean, a couple times. My OCD kicks in when I see that picture. I just think it's definitely, like, you gotta commit to that. That's a definite commitment right there, like, I guess you could take it down if it doesn't work and do something else, because you wouldn't ruin anything over the window. Of course, you couldn't have trim, which I like not having trim around the window. I think that's a nice look with the drywall returns, going into the window. I like that look, so that's a definite good place, yeah, that's a definite good place for a potted herb garden, um, 'cause, I mean, obviously, it's right by the window, so it's interesting, just I don't know, I just think that's really cool, and, maybe so. You'll notice I want you to notice this. Oh, you're in Truro, cool. I'm in Sydney, not that far. Awesome. Rosie Games. Sounds like, a YouTube name or, like, Twitch, maybe? Is it? No, it's YouTube. I don't know. Cool. I like it. Do you have a channel? I'll have to check it out. So what is that backsplash? That's a good question, Phil. Uh, it's, I can't it's like, it's, stone. It's one of those stone ones with the big I don't even know. What is it? I don't know, Phil. Someone tell me what that is. I like the inside sorry to stay on this kitchen. I love the inside of that the pull down like, not the pull down, but the the cabinets there, the wood behind the cabinets. It looks like an appliance garage. I'm not sure if it is or not. Looks like 2 appliance garages, but I don't see like a I don't know if there's a timbre door on it or what. Maybe it just might be open, so okay, let's keep going. I like this kitchen though. It's very nice. Okay, little galley style kitchen, which is nice and bright, lots of windows. Interesting how they didn't carry this across that wall. So some definite design decisions here, which I like. I like that they did that. You got the open shelves, they're classic open shelves or shelves. You know what? You see a lot of pot fillers too, don't we? But you have the oh cool. You see a lot of pot fillers, but yeah, so you have the classic open shelves, but what I want to point out in this picture is this thing. It's just what's this thing just hanging there for no reason? It just seems like, "Oh, we're just gonna hang this thing there." Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I don't not like it, I think it's interesting, but, there you go. It's just this hanging thing in the middle of your kitchen. It's all good. I'm not mocking it or dissing it. I think it's interesting. That's all. But yeah, the open shelves are there. They got the bowls. They're obviously where they store things. And again, around your range might not be the best location overall. So, two dishwashers, Starlene points out. Yes. Oops. Um, and yeah, I had somebody recently ask me about the two dishwasher thing. We did a consultation, and they're building a home to sell it, and they were asking me what are some of the things in the kitchen that they should consider, and I said, well, you should consider two dishwashers. They're like, what, like two dishwashers? Never really heard about that. I'm like, yeah, well, you start looking around, you start investigating this, you'll see a lot of kitchens with two dishwashers, and this kitchen isn't massive, and it has two dishwashers. So I don't know. Are you pro two dishwashers or not? I was planning to start a channel playing Zelda. That's cool. But instead I did TikTok videos of my chickens and dogs. That's awesome too. I think you should still go ahead with the Zelda idea though. That's awesome. I want to do YouTube videos of our home build. Oh, cool, cool. We're building it ourselves. Definitely. People are really into that stuff. So much so, I watched a video of a guy, I think he's in Norway, could be Sweden, somewhere, one of those countries. I don't know the name of the channel, but he was building a log cabin, and the video was an hour and a half, and I just turned it on. I seen that it was an hour and a half. I'm like, well, you know, I'll probably watch this for a few minutes. I was mesmerized. There was no talking or like music. It was just the sound of him sawing and cutting and stuff like that. Mesmerized for just an hour and a half watching this thing. I'm like, so Rosie Games, yeah, I think that's a great idea. People love seeing the journey, and so go for it. Go for it. Jennifer doesn't like the rack. Jennifer, I get the feeling that you're an interior designer. I so yeah, the rack. It just I don't know. Just yeah, it's just kind of there. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, I'm missing so many comments. Okay, let's go. Let's go to the next one, and then I'll jump back in. Because I'd sit here and just read comments all night because I love it. Okay, so we got that interesting looking thing. Now this kitchen, I just love this kitchen, by the way. I love the color. I'm a little worried about the fact that there's a step up, and that could be a tripping hazard because you almost don't even see it because it blends into everything else. But anyway, it's just the way it is. Look how they did the wine fridge, how it's in the step down section, but they carried the drawer over it. Like this is smart. It's like, is it smart or not smart kitchen design? I don't know. Like, would I think to do that, or would it be like, no, there's no way I'd do that? So I love seeing these things because it kind of challenges my thought of what I would do. So very cool. But what I really want you to see, I just think that looks really cool. Now, a couple problems. One, the cabinet to the left of this shelf. So you have the two cabinets to the left, and you have this one narrow cabinet to the right. I don't think that's hinged the right way. I would now I understand the one on the left, the hinges, that both the handles are in the center, and so this one kind of mimics that look. You'd be better off with one door. It looks like it's a 24-inch cabinet, so you could do a one door there, and then hinge this out so it's not going around your face all the time. Anyway, look at this shelf. Just different. This is what I really like. I love seeing stuff like this. It's just something different. Um, you know, that's what I appreciate. I appreciate stuff like that. What do you think? To me, if I was going to do a shelf, this is something I could see me doing. Something like that. There goes my camera. Hold on. Let me reach. Oh my goodness. There. Okay. Okay. What? Maybe it's a. Oh, there. We're back to the two dishwashers. Let's see. Jackie, what do you got to go doing that for, huh? What you got to go doing that for? I can't kick her out because I made her the moderator, and I just actually don't know how to do that. So you're here to stay, Jackie. I really appreciate you, by the way. So make sure you all say hi to Jackie while you're on here too. Natasha's not liking it. I like it. I don't know. It's just different. I like it because it's different. I think that's the reason. Looks pretty cool. All right. No, please don't kick yourself out, Jackie. That would not be good. Yeah, it looks like, did they just cut off the bottom of the doors? Did they? Like, maybe. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's intentional for sure. So cool. Anyway, how's our poll doing? Okay, so is your kitchen, in your kitchen, do you have a floating shelf or want one? So 40% of you are saying that no, or yes, rather, that you like the trend. and 60% are saying that it would never happen. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good number of people like pro and against. So those are the kinds of things that make these are the kind of results that make good video ideas because they're kind of polar, right? Like no, like they're yes and no. But I mean, clear winner is no. It's 60-40. All right, let's go to the next one. So yeah, like it or hate it, I don't know. There's something about it that I think is interesting. All right, here's just your classic shelf. Nothing to say there. Just basic, um, basic shelf. Done, simple. Obviously, just curated. Nothing on the top. You notice that? I like the fact that they didn't go overboard on this picture. They don't have 14. They only have two cutting boards. They don't have 14. I think maybe one of them is a cheese board. I don't know what even is a cheese board, but I, there's nothing on the top shelf. I think it's clean and simple. For that reason, I like this one. Um, there you go. I said it. I like it. I like those cabinets. I think they look nice. Um, they could have easily done a cabinet on like they did on the other side of the window, but they didn't. So, bang. There you go. All right, I didn't have a zoom in on that one. Look at this. Look at this kitchen. What do you think? I am not a fan of those hanging things. That would drive Amy bananas. Just bananas. This is just, you know, Kira's saying it looks unbalanced. Yeah, it's like they're trying to bring in like architecture. Like you see those buildings that are kind of built these interesting ways. Anyways, back to the shelving conundrum here. Like it or not like this kitchen, but check out this. Look at this. Um, that's a different way of doing it. So they're very shallow. They got the what they call a galley rail built on them. That's what they use in boats so that stuff doesn't fall off the shelf. That little dowel that goes across. And yeah, so they got the Perrier there. That's really nice. A little all I just think this is an interesting way of thinking about it and doing it. Would I do it? I don't know, maybe not, but it's cool to see these ideas. That's what I really appreciate. Again, cool to see these ideas. I keep saying it over and over again. Mark, do people do window treatments anymore? Would love to know your thoughts. No window treatment, any of these pics. Yeah. Uh, I mean, I have a blind. I have a so that's a window treatment. But you mean like curtains? That is a trend. I think, yeah, people do it. You don't, yeah, I haven't really noticed it in these pictures, but it is something I have seen. So, um, yeah, again, that's a really good question for an interior designer because it's kind of one of those things. It has no real function in terms of kitchen design, other than maybe to block some light out. But yeah, so if you're on here and you're an interior designer, uh, what's your thoughts on that? I know when I was chatting with what's her name? That's kind of embarrassing that I can't remember her name. Anyway, an interior designer on the internet. She wasn't a big fan of them. What's her name? I should know it. She's massively popular. It'll come to me in a minute. Someone might say her name and I'll get it. So yeah, very cluttered. I've seen someone say the sink's right there. The sink's right there. It's hard to see because the faucet's so sleek, but there's a sink right to the right of that little open shelf thing that I'm talking about. There's like a hanging grater, like a cheese grater or some kind of grater, and then there's a sink. Hard to see, but it's there. Oh, yeah, thanks. Terry Jo, thank you. I'm a little embarrassed, I can't remember Lisa's name. That's not good. That probably won't help me get invited back to her channel. Anyway, yeah, when I was chatting with her one time there, she, wasn't a huge fan of it. Anyway, my apologies goes out to Lisa for just I just blanked, that's all. I didn't forget her name, I just blanked on it. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Don't please don't tell her. Not she probably wouldn't care anyway. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's keep going. Anyway, I thought that was cool. Bam, here you go. Okay, so here we were just talking about this a second ago with the dark and the light. So you have the dark color on top here and the light color on the bottom, and then a really dark color with that. I like actually like this kitchen. It's interesting, just the way they did the ceiling detail. Um, just it's all the different cabinets of the blue. Everything's so different. This is I don't know, just interesting. I love seeing this kind of thing. Um, Not a fan of the way they did the matching stonework there. Um, just looks like it's in an awkward place. But again, we have the open shelves, just simple shelving there. Obviously, these are curated; they're not for use in this kitchen. And but yeah, so forget about the shelves in this one. Oh, that's sorry. But just look at the color. So you have the dark on top and the light on bottom, and so this is what I worry about. Like, am I right in saying that, or is it even doesn't even matter? To me, I think it looks better if it's lighter on top. Um, but maybe there's a way of doing it so that it flows correctly. I want to see everyone's kitchen. Yeah. All right, everyone. Everyone who's on the live stream, send me pictures of your kitchen. I'll put them on next week's live stream. Just here's your kitchen. I won't say whose name it is. I'll just put it on. Um, yeah, it was Lisa. It was Lisa Holt. Yeah. Yeah, instantly it looks like upside down. Interesting. I'm kind of like glad you said that because I get worried about that kind of thing. It looks just heavy to me on the top for that one. Okay, so these open shelves, nothing serious there to look at, but super high up, so they're not even as low as the lowest shelf on the wall cabinet. So they're up there. They're just for display. Again, uh, interesting way to do it. Okay, this is just a little small kitchen, and they got these little small shelves. Again, the top one is empty, so I'm seeing more of that. So they're not overdoing it with the picture, because a lot of times you see that where it's just overdone. Um, is there a need for shelving here? It looks like it's the only space they have for storage, but they could have storage in that island. This is a really small kitchen, by the way, because your sink, your fridge, your range. It's a big range, 36-inch in this little space. That's 3, that's 6, that's 9 or 10 feet of a wall. So it's not very big. So anyway, I just don't think those have that much use. They look kind of like it kind of clutters the thing in a little bit. Anyway, that's just kind of interesting. Fireplace is cool. Looks like they got like an I-beam there, like wrapping around the top. That to me, it just looks like imagine hitting your shin or something on that. Ooh, nasty. There, yeah, there we go. Just those little tiny ones. Yeah. Oh, someone said, yeah, my shins are already looking at those. Yeah, scary. I'm awful. And oh yeah, this one is pretty. This is a pretty kitchen. Um, a lot of things you see in these pictures. I mean, you see paneled fridges. This has a paneled. Looks like a paneled dishwasher there. Might be two of them. 36-inch range on this again. Might be even wider than that. And then these fancy looking shelves. Interesting. It looks like the one on the left. Is it block? No, it's not blocking a door. There's only one handle there. So just I don't know. Not sure how they came up with the idea or why they did that, but it's the shelf itself that I think is interesting, and for that reason, I put this one in here. Just a different look, again, similar to one we looked at earlier before, um, But it could just it's a little different. It spices things up a little bit, you know? Let's keep going. We're almost done. Oh, this is a yeah, little interesting kitchen. I don't know what those 2 round things are on each side of the island. Can someone tell me what that is? Like, what is that? Is that a charging station? I don't know what the thing ab is that a light above the sink? I mean, the vent hood is I know what that is, but what's that thing above the sink? Must be just a light. I don't even know what that I don't even know. I've never seen that before. Anyway, back to there you go, just some shelving. This is open shelving really. This is really open shelving. It's just built-in shelving into a wall space, so it's not on the outside on the wall, but it's in the wall space. So that's something you don't see a whole lot of nowadays. It's mostly cabinetry and then shelving on the wall, and this is built in. And I think that's something that can be utilized in a kitchen, to a degree. Um, so something to think about. This isn't something you see a whole lot of, I don't think. This kitchen is different, of course. I mean, this is going to be everyone's taste. Um, there's a lot happening here that is what it is. But yeah, aside from that thing above the sink, which I don't know what it is, I like the fact that there's just that insert of a shelf. So, oh, looks like outlets. Good one. Yeah, yeah. Okay, maybe it is. Well, where I live, those outlets are not, allowed according to the building code. So, interesting. Make sure if you're doing stuff like that, that you, check your local building code to make sure you're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing. This is how not to design your kitchen. A vacuum tube. Could be. Oh, did Jackie see that? Awesome. Okay, let's go to the next one. Alright. I think that's a light above the fri look at there's another one between the windows, like, sort of matches the one above the sink, so that might be a light. It's probably what it is. I can't imagine it being anything else. We got a cord going to it. Anyway, look at this kitchen. Look at the detail on that ceiling. Man, oh man. You got the flooring. Now correct me if I'm wrong. That flooring is not herringbone, it's chevron. Is that correct? Did I get that right, or am I completely wrong on that? Anyway, I think it's called chevron because I think herringbone, they overlap and the chevron come together. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, huge ceiling detail. You gotta love it. Um, they've got again the full shelf going across. Something going on to the that's the little range in the exhaust. Oh, that's interesting. On the right, full shelf, simple. Hey, I'm correct. It's chevron. All right. I'm doing good tonight. Thank you. Anyway, look at these things. That's what I really want to look at. I know they're not necessarily part of the kitchen. They're on the way into the kitchen. They're holding some books. They got some stuff there. But this is different. You can incorporate something like this into a kitchen if you wanted to, even more than this. So again, just another idea that's out there that might be something you can look at and think, yeah, that's cool. Overall, this is very interesting space to me. Very interesting. I like looking at these all these pictures. Anyway, let's go to the next one. I think this is the last one. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the last one. I'm not zooming in on this one. Of course, there's no shelving on the wall, but just this open section here, I think is really interesting. Really interesting. Uh, I like the way they did that. It's different. I like that. I like it's lit. It looks beautiful. Um, yeah, there's something about that I appreciate. Again, it's just for probably, the cookbooks. I mean, it could be very usable. Yes, it gets dusty like all the shelves do. Um, and but it looks like it has some function. It's got the outlets inside there, so it's kind of they're tucked away. Almost don't even see them. And Yeah, I don't know. Something really nice about that one that I like. So, you know, just ideas. These are just all ideas that we can look at and incorporate into our own design. I mean, I'm just looking at shelving, in this video, but you can look at all the different aspects of these kitchens and kind of come up with ideas for, what you like and what you don't like. And that's really what it's all about. Because when it comes down to it, your kitchen has to, one, function for you, and it has to um, look the way you want it to look, regardless of what anyone else thinks, because that's really the main thing. So, would the counter break that easy? Yeah, I'm sure. It looks like it's probably supported. So you have this piece underneath, and it's what, 3/4 inch? Hard to know. I'd say it's pretty solid. I wonder how much give it has, or if there's any other thing reinforcing that. Yeah, that'd be a scary one for sure. But I do like the look of that, you know. And you know what? Some of these things are not practical either. That's the other thing you kind of come down to, is that these things are not practical, wouldn't be practical for me. And that's all good. And that's all fine. But it's definitely interesting to look at. Gumby Pokey is saying that it cantilevered. Yeah, maybe so. Just don't sit on it. Yeah, there's ways to reinforce that so that it's super solid. Um, and I'm sure they thought of that. I hope so anyway. So very nice. Perfect area for a large dog's tongue or tail to clean off that shelf under the counter. It is. Or for your small dog to sleep, or cat. Your cats would probably just love that. Just be chilling in there all the time. Just be cat hair in your food all the time. Not childproof. No, definitely not childproof at all. Cool. So that is the floating shelf. Let's go back up here for a sec. I'll just throw that on there. The shelf. We got rid of the floating word on there. It's gone. We're not gonna call it that anymore. The shelf, the floating is gone. The open's gone. It's just the shelf. If you are interested in putting a shelf in your kitchen, hopefully some of these give you some ideas that you can incorporate into your kitchen design in the future if one's coming up. I do have hour-long consultations with you if you want a personal consultation about an upcoming kitchen project. Maybe you don't need anything designed. You already have a design. You've been working with somebody, but you want a second set of eyes on it. Check my website out. There's a link. I'll put a link in the description of this video if you want to do that. Um, they're fun. I like it because I get to talk to a person, and I think it's valuable for someone else to get personal input on their space. And you can never have too much. Well, maybe you can. You can't have too much input, but you get the right input, it can be good. So they seem to be very helpful. So check that out if it's something that's coming up on your radar. Of course, there's other solutions on there as well for kitchen designs if you want to do that. Um, and that's all good. I've been not super paying attention to all the comments, so I'm going to take just a couple minutes before we go. So if you do have something specific that you want to ask, please, please ask it. Did I see the Super Bowl commercial thanking Canada? No, I didn't. Why were we being thanked? Why was Canada being thanked? What did we do? If you're watching, 36 likes, 37 likes now. Hit that like button. Hit the like button for sure. What does the like button do? I don't really know. Maybe it's just a vanity metric that makes the creator feel good. I think I think it does show engagement. Whether you hit the down, whether you hit like the thumbs down or the thumbs up, I actually think it's all the same, in my opinion. It's engagement. That's really what's important. So the engagement is important. The comments are important, and yeah, yeah. This is making me rethink my two upcoming shells. Cool. Well, I hope it doesn't. Yeah, it shows engagement. I hope it doesn't discourage you from having open shelves. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with them. If you know the risks, you know what you're in for. There's lots of cool ways you can do it. So I think that's good. Should you spend a lot of your kitchen budget on kitchen cabinets? Depending what your budget incorporates. Um, in other words, does it incorporate like your appliances and your flooring and all those other things? I mean, obviously, probably your countertops. But I mean, like everyone's budget's different. So some people don't include their appliances inside their budget. Um, but if you're talking about cabinetry and you're thinking about budget, then yes, you should. That's a tough one. You should get quality cabinetry because the better quality cabinetry you have, the longer it's gonna last, obviously, and that specifically, that quality should be in, um sorry, Jackie, I'm just seeing it now. Hold on. See Rosie's question on IKEA cabinets. No, I think it's up there. Okay, so specifically, you should be looking at the particular hardware. So I'm not hung up on, whether or not cabinets are made like of plywood or if they're custom made or if they're, MDF, melamine. I'm not super hung up on that. I've been in this industry for a long time. I've seen all of it, and enough. I've seen enough of it to not be hung up on it. Okay, I'll put it to you that way. However, I've seen a lot of cruddy hardware, and I've seen a lot of great hardware, and I think that's really where your budget should be focused on specifically if you're going that route is to make sure you have quality hardware. So the mechanisms that move, because those are the things that are going to break um, more often than not. So yeah, so to answer your question, um, that there should be a considerable amount of your budget that goes into the quality of the cabinetry, in my opinion. Now, what that means for everyone is different. I was thinking of doing an IKEA kitchen, but unsure of how the would be for custom. The cost difference will be a lot. You'll notice a huge difference between custom, like you're in Truro, so if you go to Kent, and you get triangle kitchens from Kent, you'll notice a huge cost difference with IKEA. That being said, triangle kitchens is really good. Um, that's what I have in my house, and that's what I sold for years. So if you have questions about Rosie, if you have questions about your cabinets and where you're buying them, hook me up because being in Nova Scotia and knowing the brands that some of the places sell, I have a pretty good idea. Okay, I think that answered your question. Okay, who would mark a thumbs down? Well, I do get them. Some people don't like me. They don't like my attitude. They think I come off. They don't like the way I come off. That's cool. I don't like me all the time either. Be honest with you. It's all good. Everybody's not for everybody, and that's the problem with YouTube is that you can get hung up on those things, and that's not good. So I just take it as it comes. It's all good. I don't doesn't matter to me. Used to bother me, but now it doesn't. For Crown Royal, but they had Dave Grohl thanking Canada for all their inventions. Yeah, like hockey and basketball. We invented that. I don't mean I Crown Royal, I guess that's a drink. I don't know. Dave Grohl's like a legend, so I guess that's cool. But no, Phil, I didn't see that. So it's all good. All right, Hooptastic saying, I was very happy with my IKEA kitchen in my previous house, only used it for a year though before I moved. So I mean, I think overall IKEA gets pretty good rating. Glory saying the dusty state wouldn't work good. Yeah, yeah, that's important. If you have overly amounts of dust, I don't even know if that's a sentence. It wouldn't be good if you have too much dust in where you live because you're going to be dusty on those shelves. Okay, so you have IKEA. Yeah, well, you're gonna find that, when you go looking around for custom, there's a huge cost difference between IKEA and custom. How much clearance do you need for your fridge door, say 30-inch space? Well, you need to check with your fridge manufacturer to see what it says the clearance is. And that could be 4 inches or 6 inches. It depends on the way the door opens, on that fridge. Generally, for the fridge space, I just usually allow an inch for the fridge itself, but the fridge door, that really is gonna depend on the actual fridge. So check the model number. It's easy. You go online, you find the specs, find the installation specs, and it'll just tell you what it recommends, and then go by that. There's no real one answer for that. But generally speaking, if I was just going to say I didn't have the specs and I had to guess, you want it and it's against a wall, I'd give it 6 inches to be safe, just so you can open the door past 90, so you can get things out. But definitely check the specs for that on the fridge. That's not a clear-cut answer, like, because there's so many appliances. There's so many fridge manufacturers. We got custom cabinets because we want reinforced bottoms in our drawers. Yep, that's important. Some people like to have custom cabinets because they have solid backs. So, and that all adds to the cost. So that's one of the reasons. So if you have reinforced drawers, which is a good thing, and if you have solid backs, that's also something that's good. So that's some of the reasons why they can be more expensive and why things like places like IKEA um, don't have those. They don't have solid. I don't know what they're I don't know I don't know what the thickness is of their actual drawer, um, you know, the drawer bottom. I think it's 5/8 maybe, which is fine. But they don't have solid backs. But that's here nor there. For some people, it doesn't even matter. So, all right. Thank you. I appreciate it. They're probably old sticks in the mud. Yeah, some of them are just curmudgeoned old. Well, maybe not old, but yeah, basketball. Check it out, James Naismith. He's from Ontario, I think, or Winnipeg? I don't know. I don't know that much of the history of it, but he was Canadian, and he used peach baskets. Any thoughts on RTA IKEA versus Discount Kitchen Direct? Um, I would likely go with IKEA over almost any other RTA brand, to put it that way. That being said, I have not s actually seen, um, all of the brands and felt all of the brands and can actually say, but I would say being the size of a manufacturer that IKEA has, the quality of their hardware being Blum, I don't think you can go wrong in terms of comparing those 2 things by going with IKEA. And I can be there's lots of great brands out there that are, certified and they're tested and they're great, but, just a blanket statement, I'd probably veer towards IKEA, and I'm not a fanboy, and I have no connection, just from what I can gather. Canada invented American football too. Is that true, Phil? And peanut butter? I don't know. I mean, we have the CFL, which is, Canadian football, but I don't do we might have, maybe we did. I have no idea. But we definitely invented basketball and hockey. I don't even know if we invented hockey, but we definitely invented basketball and Winnie the Pooh. So there you go. Oop, almost spilt me water. That's not good. And maple syrup. Just because you have maple trees in the United States too, Jackie. I love maple syrup. So do we. We love actually, we just bought maple syrup tonight, and my buddy used to make it. So yeah, and there's tapped maple trees in the woods in my backyard. So okay, you got on that one. And ketchup flavored chips, and I think Smarties too. I think Smarties were invented in Canada. How did we get into this? No more kitchen questions. Um, Custom in-frame kitchen unpainted is about 9,000 euro in the UK. Do you mean is that inset? What's in-frame mean? Is that a framed kitchen? 9,000. What's the size, I guess? What's the size of that? Like, is that what would that be a square foot? Coffee crisp? Canada's rocking it out. I don't know if I would put concrete counters on IKEA cabinets, maybe reinforce and don't use the plastic feet. That's a good point. Yeah. I don't know how heavy a concrete counter is in comparison to maybe a quartz countertop. Um, drinking the Kool-Aid. You guys are great. Lots of foodie comments. Oh, cool. Casey Concrete. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, find out what the weight is. I mean, the dimensional strength of the cabinets, I think, is fine, but the plastic feet definitely a point. So you'd want to build your cabinets on a sub base out of 2x4, and then sit the bases on top of that. And there you go, McGill University. Yeah, James Naismith. There you go. All right. So listen, we're gonna say goodnight. I got the basketball controversy started. Winnie the Pooh. You know what? I think it is British, but it's a Canadian who named him Winnie the Pooh. Maybe that's what it was. Oh my gosh. All right, Dominic, thanks so much for bringing us back here. Thanks that your first. Oh, cool, your first one. Awesome. I really appreciate it. I'm building a tri-quad plex, and I think it may be a good idea for us to connect. Cool, yeah. Design my kitchens. What do you think? Cheers. I think that's a great idea. Just give me a shout out, an email on mark@mtkd.ca, and I will. We can connect that way. That's the best way to do it. So, and we can chat and go from there instead of going through my website. Do it that way. Night, Phil. Good night, everyone. Appreciate you all for being on here. And as always, yeah, we invented Tim Hortons too. As always, I will be here next week again, chatting about more kitchen stuff. And check out the video this coming week. I'm talking about the kitchen boom. So it's a baby boomer themed kitchen design video, and just some different things you're considering if you are between the ages of 59 and 77, or any age. Actually, they're good tips for all, but I'm just honing in on the boomers for this one. So I appreciate y'all as always. Thanks. If you're catching the replay and you're still watching, you're amazing. But leave a comment down below, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. If you have specific questions about anything kitchen design, definitely reach out and ask, and I'll try to help you best I can, either through email or through the comment section on any video. You can find me there. So everyone, have a great night. Love you all. God bless. Bye.